Good evening, everybody. Welcome, and I'm joining you again, and I'm going to be joined by Dr. Mukherjee shortly. Let me see if I can add her. I hope everybody is having a great New Year, and firstly, wishing everybody a very, very happy and prosperous New Year. So this is our first live session of the year. So I hope it's a great one, and many, many more to come. For not only this year, for many, many more years to come. And I think she's going to join us any moment. So I hope everybody is taking the New Year resolutions. I hope only fitness is not the New Year's resolution. And there I see Dr. Mukherjee. Let me just send her a request and add her. Yes, I've sent. Join us immediately. So I hope fitness is not the only resolution. Good evening, Dr. Mukherjee. Wishing you a very happy New Year and wishing everybody else a very happy New Year. And guys, we have the next biggest star of Instagram over here with us. The next big celebrity who's going to be, ruling Instagram, Dr. Mukherjee. I can see her everywhere, the likes and
Good
the reels
evening.
doing.
Good evening. I wish everybody a very happy new year. I know that last time we went live was last year. So it's
Yeah.
quite a shock. I still not realized that it's 2022.
Well, it's 2022, and I was just saying, I hope everybody has taken the New Year's resolution, and fitness is not the only thing in the resolution. I hope there are other things also. As we say, fitness is important, yes, but there are other things also. As I said, life is like an ice cream, enjoy it before it melts. So I hope
True.
everybody has great, resolutions taken. So, Dr. Mukherjee, as we are joining in today, we have another interesting session. Okay. Uh, so today we are talking on subjects on I won't say one particular subject, but we're touching on few different subjects. So we are talking firstly on exercise form, workout form. That is something you're very, very particular about. You've been very particular that the way you do your exercise, the way you perform it is very important. Okay, something which you're very specific about. You drill this into me. Now, why is workout execution or workout form very important? Can you explain it to the audience out there?
Okay. So workout form is nothing but the position or the posture in which you do a particular exercise. Okay. This is especially required in strength training. Now there are multiple benefits for this. Okay. Number one, it helps prevent injuries or reduces the risk of injuring yourself. Number two is that it conserves energy. Now we have to do multiple exercises, especially imagine for an athlete or even when we go to the gym, okay, we have to finish multiple exercises together. We can't use all of our energy in one exercise. So that's where form comes into play. Number three, it helps in engaging the correct muscle. Now, we are going to be talking in detail about this, how to engage the correct muscle, because muscles are divided into your two types. There are the prime movers, which are actually moving, and the stabilizers, which stabilize the joint. Along with this, they help in breathing properly, because if you don't have a form correct, you will not be able to breathe comfortably. If you can't breathe, you cannot lift a lot of load while doing the exercise or do it efficiently. And next is strength and performance. Guys, we are doing the exercise ultimately to improve our strength, improve our performance, as well as going ahead with increasing our athleticism, as well as going forward with increasing our functionality. Okay, I have a question here from somebody.
Absolutely.
Yes, I have done my master's in physio. That was about a decade ago, and I have been practicing for the past 10 years. So I hope I've answered
So,
your question.
so there the answers there. Dr. Mukherjee has given the answer.
Yeah, and one of the major reasons why we need to take care of our form is because if you're not doing it correctly, number one is we could be causing more injury rather than doing good to the body. Secondly, we might not be causing the injury on the same day, but understand that when we start doing a movement a certain way, okay, we go ahead with building neurological patterns in our brain, repetitive patterns. I will give you an easy example. When you start driving, it's a very conscious effort to drive. But over a period of time, if you start to learn how to relax and drive comfortably, it becomes an automatic movement. Okay. So you will be living throughout your life with that automatic movement unless we consciously change it. When we learn a wrong form or a bad pattern of doing a movement, it might not cause an injury today, but over a period of time, this can get accumulated. The bad pattern forms a neurological pattern in our head, and that becomes an automatic movement. So instead of doing it the right way, even in our functional activities, we will end up doing it in the wrong way or the least efficient way or less efficient way, leading to chances of injury even in the future. So form is something that people should absolutely follow completely, and they should not be moving away from it.
Well, that's amazingly put. What you've said is very right. As we've discussed in the past also, injuries don't flare up immediately, especially when it's sports or fitness related. It flares up in the future. So a correct form is something very, very important. Now, my next question, when we are sticking to forms, now let's talk about squats. Your knees should not pop out too much. Okay, your knees are not supposed to pop out too much when you're doing a squat, or when you're doing your bicep, you're not supposed to swing your arm, which is a very common practice, common thing I've seen with people. They swing their arm. Okay, what happens when a person doesn't perform a particular exercise, in a correct manner? When he doesn't do, when his form is not right, what happens then? Can that lead to an injury?
Okay, so before answering that question, I would like people to understand that there are two different muscles that we are working on whenever we are performing an exercise. And guys, understand this, that the entire body is connected. It's not just that one muscle that you're working out. Okay, so the main muscle that we work in that particular exercise is called as a prime mover. For example, you gave the example of a biceps curl. Okay, so biceps curl, the prime mover, the movement is happening at the elbow, and the prime mover is the bicep. Okay, now the bicep alone cannot do its job. It has to be stabilized by stabilizing muscles at the shoulder. Okay, so stabilize the muscles, stabilize the joint, which makes sure that the prime mover can work comfortably, correctly, efficiently, and to its maximum limit. Now, for somebody who is doing a full biceps curl with their elbow by their side, shoulders straight, okay, a slight distance, and doing it in full range of motion at the elbow, is performing the exercise comfortably. That means their stabilizers muscles are stabilizing, and the prime mover, that is the biceps, is working through full range of movement. Now imagine if somebody is swinging their arm. That means the stabilizers are not working. So the prime mover has a chance of getting injured, because number one, we could be stretching it with the momentum of just moving it at a very high speed. Secondly, the momentum will also cause the resistance to not work at all ranges. So we might not injure ourselves, but it will become a very easy exercise. Imagine keeping your elbow at the right position and shoulder at the right position and lifting a 2 kg dumbbell. Now imagine swinging it with the shoulder. Of course, it's going to be a lot easier because certain areas, gravity will be working for us and make the weight a little weightless. Okay, so we had discussed this previously also, how exercise bands really help us providing resistance at every part of the range. So when we are doing this exercise by swinging, we are not stabilizing the muscle. Therefore, we will not be able to take up enough load efficiently. We will not be able to do the movement efficiently. It can cause injury. Okay, so all of these reasons are why we should not be going outside of our regular form. Yes, it can 100% cause injuries. If not today, maybe later. So people need to understand, like we keep telling that, okay, form is important, and people don't understand why form is important. So I wanted to teach them the difference between prime movers and stabilizers. Very easy thing is, every time a muscle will not be a prime mover or a stabilizer. It keeps changing. The job keeps changing. When we are going ahead with the chest press, the triceps is the prime mover. But in a pull-up, the triceps become a stabilizer. So it's not that the same muscle is being used. Now, why do we need to stabilize? Okay, we will keep looking at all of these online things about, bro, look at my big glutes or my big biceps. Nobody says that, bro, look at my nice serratus anterior and rhomboids, because those are stabilizing muscles. They work for core stability. But guys, that is what you need. You have to sit and work for hours in front of your system, or you have to probably take care of your child, or stand and cook, or stand for a very long time at your work. So that is where your stabilizer muscles come into play. I know that, lifting heavy weight is great for our ego and it gives us a lot of feel-good factor and endorphins. But the stabilization part is equally important.
I know why she says ego, because she's been drilling into my head, because I am somebody who is a victim of ego lifting. Okay, so it's like, from that movie Top Gun, I get reminded of that dialogue every time I lift a weight that I'm not supposed to. It's like, your muscle, your body saying your body is carrying weight that your muscle can't encash. So it's very much like that. But yes, I know you have taught me one thing, how to keep, when you work out, especially concentrate on the particular muscle, especially like a bicep or something, you've taught that concentrate on the particular muscle, move it slowly up and down. So yeah, those things absolutely work. Now moving to our next question. Okay, when we perform a particular workout in a wrong manner, now again we are talking about biceps. When you're swinging and doing the bicep, now what happens is our shoulders coming into play. Now the target muscle here for a workout with a curl is what we say is a bicep curl. Now what happens when you swing it? You tend to work out your shoulders more. Could you explain that to the audience a little bit?
Okay.
How the target
There
muscle
is
shifts?
Yeah, so there is a reason why you're doing an exercise. Okay, every exercise has its own purpose and it has its functionality. We don't do a biceps curl because in our life we have to do biceps curl, right? None of our jobs description does like I must do 15 biceps curl in a day. Okay, so why we do it is to make it functional in our lives. Now, for that, we need to have the correct form and we need to target the right muscle. If we are not targeting the right muscle when we are performing the exercise, number one, injury chances increase. Number two, a negative pattern or an irregular pattern forms in our head, okay, which can increase the strain on the muscle, and we will end up doing the exercise or our regular functional activities in a wrong way. For example, somebody uses his shoulder a lot. Okay, so the shoulder muscles might get tightened, they might get injured, leading to a rounded shoulder posture while going forward with sitting continuously for long duration. So it's very important to work on the target muscle, especially when we are looking at athletes. Or even if you're not an athlete, you are somebody who is going into recreational sports. Okay, it's very important that you understand what are your prime movers and for each and every joint, and what are your stabilizers. Give an example of knee. If we know that we have to strengthen the knee, or an athlete has to strengthen the knee, there are two major movements that happen in the knee, that is bending and straightening. So we know that we will be working either on a prime mover quadriceps or on prime mover hamstrings. But on areas like our shoulders or areas like our hip, which are like a ball and socket joint, okay, there is a lot of movements possible. So there are multiple prime movers and multiple stabilizers. So when an athlete is working on their shoulder or hip, or even when we want to make our shoulders and hips stronger, depending on the joint, we need to do very complex functional movements. That is why you will see that there is a huge amount of difference between the exercise people are doing for the knees and what they are doing for the shoulder. This is because our aim is ultimately to be able to perform each movement at its maximum ability, the most efficiently, with conserving energy without getting injured.
Again, that's very well put. I think that's a point to be taken for everybody out there. Now, the next question. Now, this again comes back to the internet age. Okay. Now, on the internet, we have so many videos. Let it be video, let it be reels, all that. There are workouts like hit put up. There are kettlebell workouts. The list is long. Okay. Now, is it good for us just to look at the internet and try to imitate a particular workout? I know there are a lot of people when they see the quote, the most effective way workout for weight loss, because I have been there, I have done that, and I learned it the hard way. So it's for the people out there when they try to imitate a workout that they see on the internet, a kettlebell workout or a hit. Is this a right or a good practice? Okay, what if the person's fitness condition is not up to the mark to do that particular workout? Okay, they're not fit enough. What is your take on this? What would you tell to the viewers out there on this particular thing?
Okay, so I am still waiting to see anybody try to perform surgeries on each other or their family members by watching Google and YouTube. Because if you really think that Google and YouTube is that useful, then you should be able to do anything, become a rocket scientist or, become a surgeon. But it's not that easy. And what comes up in Google has the maximum search engine optimization. And that's why it comes about Google, not because there has been enough and plenty research done on it. So guys, again, today's post that I had put was again for a lot of Google doctors who read things on the internet which may not have been researched and may be harmful for you, and they try performing that. Now, the same way we hold a surgeon, we hold them at high regards because they are responsible for our health. So we want them to have all of the education and know all of the techniques and work on us. The same way we should not be giving away our health or our body on the hands of Google and YouTube, which will take absolutely zero responsibility if anything happens to you. Okay. For example, imagine if you have a cardiac condition which has not been detected. Now, a physiotherapist or a certified fitness trainer will at least go ahead with prescribing a musculoskeletal assessment and a fitness assessment. They will also be checking your entire medical history, your surgical history, your medicine history, any biochemical test that has been done, because we look for anything which might contraindicate exercises or where we need to go ahead with precaution. Okay, you might have had a knee surgery previously, okay, and it might not have been rehabilitated properly. If you start doing exercise that you're following on Google, you might end up injuring the muscles around your knee. Or you might have a cardiac condition, a coronary artery disease, which would have gone undetected because you never pushed your body. Suddenly you start looking at Google and YouTube and you start pushing your body to that level without checking your background. It might as well, lead you to going to the hospital due to an angina or a heart attack. So please be very, very careful. We take all of these things very lightly until it happens to us. So understand that people do suffer from cardiac conditions. People do suffer from a lot of hidden conditions, which we can easily understand when, as a doctor or a physiotherapist, we take a proper history and we rule out any medical conditions. So it's very, very important, guys. Please do not take your health so lightly and follow something which is out for free. If somebody tells you that I can do your surgery for free, you're never going to go to them because you know that they are not going to do a good job. So why would we go to Google and YouTube for exercises for free? It's your body. Get tailor-made exercises, understand what is lacking in your body, set goals, work towards them.
Yeah, on this point, I would just add, guys, quick fixes doesn't work. When you have quick fixes, it absolutely doesn't work. So I don't think you should try going for a quick fix. Trust me, I'm a person who tried all the quick fixes in the book. Oh, trust me, they don't work. So don't even bother wasting your time. Now, moving on. Now, my next question to you is, okay, it comes back to the form part, okay? Now, there is a set of trainers, there's a set of fitness experts that say, don't bother about the form, just do it. I myself seen many trainers who don't even care about how the form is, their personal training also. Now, you have taught me when, as I said earlier, that you have to concentrate and do it. Especially when I do a bicep, I leave it very slowly so that, the hustling muscle comes properly. So that's how I've been trained. But I see the other people, they go, the range of motion is not right. I don't know why they're doing it so fast. And the trainer is not even trying to correct them. Now, on this, I ask, they say, don't bother about the form, just perform the workout. What is your take on this? And should this come under regulation?
Okay. So I would just suggest, would you trust a surgeon if he tells you that I'm just going to cut into your body and I do not know where this is going to lead to? Hopefully, I will be able to finish the surgery properly, but no guarantees. I just want to start it off. We do prep for everything in our lives. I mean, like when in the morning I go to the kitchen and I start prepping food, I'm not thinking like, okay, let me just cut some aloo first and then I am going to think whether what am I going to make and whether I'm going to use this aloo or not, because time is so precious. I mean, you are trying to work on your body. Why are you going without any goals in mind? And the way that you can set your individual goals is to go ahead with a complete assessment. Check your posture. Check your strength, endurance, explosive strength, your cardiorespiratory endurance. get everything checked, check your medical history, see what is lacking, and go forward with making certain set goals to reach your destination. Understand that if we have no goal, we are not going to reach anywhere. Okay. If we feel that, okay, I want to be extremely fit, but I have no goals, I have no form, then that is just barely a wish. Okay. And wishes may or may not come true. You need to know where you stand and you need to know where you're going to be able to reach there. And definitely this must come under regulation, because as I gave you the example of the surgeon, okay? Don't you think a surgeon who has no idea what he's doing to your body should come under regulation? So if a surgeon who is again handling your human body, is under regulation, and we hold them under such high scrutiny that they should go with so many years of education and they should know what they are doing, then why is somebody else who is a trainer who is also handling your body, who can lead to injuries in your body because they obviously don't know what they are doing, if they have no idea and they're just telling like, okay, let's just start and we will see where we are going to reach. Shouldn't that person be held responsible for the same? Shouldn't there be a regulatory body holding the doctor as well as your training coach, as well as your strength and conditioning coach and your gym trainer at the same level? So why should there be any difference? Because an injury is an injury. If a surgeon can cause me injury, a trainer can also cause me the same injury.
Correct. Because see, even at times I actually feel that when it comes to being a fitness trainer or a fitness expert, there should be a regulatory, or there should be a process where you upgrade and become yourself a trainer. Like when you go to become a doctor, especially a surgeon, it's not that you finish college and you're ready, they give you the scalpel and knife, okay, you can start operating now. It doesn't go like that. You work as an intern, and then I think you move on to residency, and I don't know the exact this thing, whatever little bit I know is thanks to Grey's Anatomy. So it goes on like that. There is a process step by step till you are actually capable of heading a surgery and you can start doing a surgery. It's a long process for a doctor to be independent. I think similar things should be there with the fitness trainers. See, anybody and everybody can become a fitness trainer. There is nothing wrong with that. But yes, you need to have a particular degree, study, get certifications, work under the best of the trainers, and then proceed as the step goes. You cannot become expert from day one. Doogie houses are not there everywhere. So it's very simple. You need to go step by step. So at least that's how I see. If you want to be one of the best fitness trainers, or you want to take this as this thing, you have to study and you have to progress towards it. So you have put it in a very proper manner. Now, still staying on the same subject, we have spoken about injuries, and I ask, when a particular client gets injured due to a particular workout or a particular form or execution, who is responsible here? Okay, because I always try to understand this, where if a workout is given wrong and a person gets injured, who gets responsible for this? Who do you think should be held responsible? Is it the person or the trainer, or how?
Okay, now that's a tricky question, and that's going to have a two-part answer. Now, first, when a doctor, a physiotherapist, or a certified trainer is going to start off with your exercises, they are going to be going ahead with a musculoskeletal assessment, with a fitness assessment, understand your health, your history. For example, you've had a surgery, like an abdominal surgery, a knee replacement, hip replacement, whatever. You've been on medicines, you've been on blood thinners throughout. So they will know your exact health condition and they will give you exercise according to it. And they will be giving precautions, okay? Following everything, like everything correctly followed to the client, to the T, like not straining yourself, following your correct nutrition, sleeping well enough, all of these things followed. And if the person still gets injured with the exercises that we are giving them, we do need to take up a certain responsibility for that, because it is our job to make the right exercise program for our client. Okay. Sometimes the client is also at fault. For example, I have faced this a lot whenever I'm going ahead with treating an athlete, or whenever I'm going ahead treating a dancer. I usually tell them to stay off dancing or stay off, running constantly, because they are not ready for it. But if in spite of all of the precautions being told to us, we are still, as clients, going ahead with the activity that was specifically told not to go ahead with, or we did a long distance travel which strained our muscles completely, or we didn't sleep, we have been on fasting. The number of times that I have had to tell people, please, we cannot exercise today, because they didn't come to the gym in the morning and they didn't tell me that they were fasting. Okay, so somebody who is not used to exercising on an empty stomach, of course, like they're going to wake up, they're going to be tired, the muscles are not going to be at their 100% best. So definitely that day, if the person is doing exercise, they can get injured. So if you are not following your, everything that has been told by your doctor, and you are going against it, and still you are coming up for the exercise, you are prepped to fail, and you get injured, yes, the responsibility lies on the person. But if we as doctors fail to do a complete background check, a complete medical check, a complete fitness assessment, a complete musculoskeletal assessment, then the responsibility completely and totally falls on us, because we were trained to do this. We have been given money to do this. We are the ones responsible to do this, and we can still not do our jobs. We are definitely responsible for this. So yes, I know that a lot of gyms go forward with waivers where they take zero responsibility for your health. I mean, can you imagine walking into an OPD and you are asking a doctor that I have back pain, and the doctor is, or I have a fever, and the doctor is telling you that, you have to sign this waiver that whatever happens to you, I am not responsible, and then I will give you the medication. Imagine walking into every OPD consultation this way. Like, will you have any trust in the doctors? You will tell that, oh my God, I can't trust the doctors anymore. So the same way, if somebody, first of all, most of the trainers, they are not certified. Okay. And on top of that, they are literally telling you that give me your money and I have no responsibility for your health. Okay. Why would you give the responsibility to them to train you? Okay. So it's very, very important that we take an informed decision. We know who we are going to. Yes, if you do something which is out of the blue, like you start training, you start running, and you hide it from your trainer or your physiotherapist or your doctor, you are bound to get injured. Okay, but if you're going forward with the right treatment program with your doctor, with your physiotherapist, you might have a minor pull or like a small discomfort, but that will definitely get better. So another thing I will add to this, Prateek, is because as physiotherapists and doctors, we will be able to treat even the injury. Okay, that is why we take responsibility for it. And that is why you should be trusting a physiotherapist or a doctor rather than trusting a trainer who probably does not know where the injury came from and will not be able to fix it even if it happens.
So this is truly spoken like a passionate fitness expert. I have to give you full credit on this, because the way you have put it across, and so clearly you've put it across, about the responsibility, how we have to share it, and the enthusiasm, the way you've said it clearly shows you take this very, very seriously. So I think we need more people like you practicing like this to, have a momentum of change at least. So thumbs up for that. Okay, now moving on to one of my last questions. Let's see how tricky you find this one. Okay, my last spin for the day. Is there any way a person can understand that they are performing a workout in a wrong manner, or, this can lead to an injury? Are there any indications for them? Are there any alarming signs, that a person gets, okay, this workout that I'm performing can go wrong?
Okay. Now, if you have been performing a workout for a very long period of time and you have gone ahead with the right progression of weight and you have not gone forward with a lot of exercises at that same day, and still you are complaining of a pull, a discomfort, an abnormal sensation, okay, feeling a weird sensation like slight pain over certain muscles that you have exercised, then definitely the form might be wrong. Now, there are certain primary and secondary things we need to check in this. The primary things are exercise related, okay? Did I do it in the correct form? Did I do the number of repetitions correctly, or did I suddenly increase the number of repetitions? Did I take the same amount of weight, or did I suddenly increase it by 3-4 kilos or by 10 kilos, okay? That can lead to an injury. Okay, did I go ahead with the same number of exercise, or today instead of doing 15 exercise, I did 25 exercises? So that can also lead to pain. Okay, so form is definitely, like, if you have ruled out all of these things, then form could definitely be one of the reasons. Now looking at Secondary factors are general factors that we might be having, which will not be related to the exercise that we are doing. Okay. First is food. Have you been fasting? Have you been eating correctly? Have you been eating unhealthy food? Have you not been fueling your body? One of the major reasons why we can still be feeling fatigued and pain. Fatigue, I can see you
During
smiling there.
no, no, not that. I'm like,
About
this is the New Year week, okay, and I'm sure people must be having the eyebrows raised. How does Dr. Mukherjee know all this? They're still in the New Year hangover.
so nutrition plays a huge role in whether or not you will be feeling good every single day consistently while doing an exercise. So if your body is already fatigued and you're not fueling up enough, you can end up injuring yourself. Second is hydration. Guys, drink enough and plenty water. We as a generation are dehydrated. Okay. So we need to go ahead with drinking enough and plenty water. Yes. So I have my water bottle right here. And so does Prateek. We realize the importance of hydrating to build up our bodies. So please go ahead with that. If your body is dehydrated, your muscles get dehydrated. Understand that muscles are not very important organs. So the body draws the water to the very important organs of the body. That's the brain, the lungs, the heart, the liver, the stomach. So it takes it away from the muscles. So if you are dehydrated, your muscles are going to get affected first. That is why we feel cramps in our calf first. We don't feel cramps in our heart immediately if we are dehydrated. Okay, so that is our body's way of working. Third is stress. Okay, so we had nutrition, we had water, we had stress. Stress, any physical strain, excess of work. Okay, you have been working 20 hours instead of 12 hours or 8 hours, okay? Or stress, that is emotional stress. Emotional stress is usually not given enough credit. Fitness itself says that it is an emotional and physical state of well-being. But we tend to forget the emotional part. Okay, so emotional stress, you have received a bad news, you are going through like a terrible time in your life, you have just had a breakup, or you just generally feeling low. Okay,
Cramp
all
in the
of this
heart.
can yes, so all of this can lead to fatigue and low performance even when you're going to the gym, and it can lead to a pull. Obviously this can lead to a lack of concentration also, which can lead to a bad form and lead to a pull. Okay, so we had nutrition, we had water, we had stress, and sleep. Guys, sleep is the one thing that helps regulate everything. It's literally like the magic pill. Like we can feel terribly tired and drained today, and you have a great, sleep of 7 to 8 hours, which is what is advised usually. And the next day you actually wake up fresh. So if you have not slept, if you've had a late night, if you had many late nights, you're just coming from your New Year's party and you're trying to exercise, guys, it's not going to happen like that. Okay. Please get a good night's sleep, get your nutrition, proper, speak to a dietitian or a nutritionist, see what you can do. Take care of these primary and secondary reasons. Okay. And that's how you will not get injured again. So easiest way of knowing that you might be having an injury from the form is check for any sort of discomfort, which should not be coming with that particular exercise that you're doing.
It's literally like no pain, no gain, like they say. But that's always misinterpreted because it's not understood properly. When we say no pain, no
Correct.
gain, it's basically for power lifters or heavy lifting when a bodybuilder does, and it's that pain. I won't say it's exactly a pain. It is that push that they give to lift that heavy 50 kg dumbbell, 30 kg dumbbell. That is the pain they're talking about. It's not a muscular pain. It's always taken in a wrong sense. And when we say gain, it's gain. We're talking about gains. So it's like that. Don't think
I
it's a
think it's more
literally.
about, the pain of trying to get up and go to the gym or go for that run. It's that pain. It's not really a physical pain. Please don't try to exercise over pain, guys. Okay,
Exactly.
so that's what me and Pratik are trying to tell you. It's more that pain of the effort that you're trying to put in. That's what we are talking about.
Absolutely, and when you say that thing about getting up and going, guys, self-motivation, I've spoken on this earlier also. That is the key thing. You need to give it time, you need to give it patience. Don't give in, don't give up. It takes time. Any good thing takes time in life, so will results. So give it a little time, be consistent, be determined. You will see if you're doing your workout right, if you have the correct plan on, you will see result. There is no way out. So be ready for that. Just keep giving your best. You've seen results with me. It's because I've been consistent. I have been determined. I've seen results. But yes, I had a very, very good workout plan. Also, I had good fitness experts with me to thank for. So that is there. Now, before we end, I think, concentration, you had used the word. Okay. Now, before we wind up for today, I just want to ask one thing. Could you explain to the people how important is concentration while working out?
It is as important as while driving. If you're not concentrating, it can lead to accidents. So at the gym also, if you're lifting weight and you're not concentrating, it will lead to accidents. Or even at work, you're not concentrating on your meeting, more than accidents maybe. So concentration is very important. So take the time out, leave your phone on the side. Okay, try not to take a lot of workout selfies. You can take a few selfies once you're done with your exercise. Okay, but try not to constantly be on your phone. Try to detach yourself from your regular work. If that time you're giving to your exercise and your workout, please make sure that you're concentrating completely to it. And giving your 100%. If you don't give your 100%, you will not get back 100%. So, and also you don't deserve the 100% back if you're not giving it. So, take an informed decision.
The best you give, the best you get. So that was a ball whack out of the park by Dr. Mukherjee. So Dr. Mukherjee, before we wind up, what is going to be your punchline for the day for the people out there?
Okay. My punchline for the day is you cannot shoot a cannon out of a cano. Prime movers is important, but stabilizers are even more important. Guys, if you don't have good stabilization muscles working, you will not be able to do your mobilizer muscles movement correctly. Okay, so you want to be strong, work on both the muscles. Don't just get, carried away by how people are only working on their glutes or they're only working on their biceps. Body is so much more than that. You will not be able to do a tremendous amount of work if your stabilizer muscles are not good.
That was very well said. So what I would end by saying is, guys, there was one point where Dr. Mukherjee said about enough sleep. Guys, that's the most important thing. Trust me, from a guy who loves lifting, my lifting is never better by the day I've slept well, I've woken up fresh, I have lifted the best, I've lifted I've lifted weights effortlessly. So sleep is something very important. Yes, I know with today's fast-paced world, we tend to get 5, 6 hours, but how much ever you can squeeze in, get your rest, get your sleep. It's very, very important. I think there's no pre-workout or post-workout better than sleep is something which I feel. A good night's sleep like a baby is the best thing for your work. Let it be for anything. Your concentrations are up, your mood is better. So somehow get that sleep well and to the best, because there's nothing better than that. So I think I will just wind it at sleep. So Dr. Mukherjee, again, you have given quite a bit of information to people today. Guys, I'm going to be reposting this video. It's going to be on my handle. It's going to be on Dr. Mukherjee's handle. It's also going to be on our YouTube channel. Fitness Performance India is now there on YouTube. So you guys can see all the videos that we've been doing over there again and again, how many ever times you want. We'll be more than happy. And if you guys like the video, please do like it and do share it with your friends. And yes, please do also see the reels and the workouts tip Dr. Mukherjee is putting up. She's putting up some great content out there. So do visit her page, do follow her, because you're going to find some amazing tips on workouts and things like that. She puts it up every day. So guys, do follow her. It's like it would change your idea on fitness and things like that. There are a lot of tips she puts out. So do follow her page also. So Dr. Mukherjee, I thank you for this first session of the year. I hope there are many, many more sessions for the many, many more years to come. We keep doing and keep giving out knowledge to people. So this is Dr. Mukherjee.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Dr. Mukherjee. And so this is Dr. Mukherjee and Hustling Muscles signing off. Thank you so much. Have a great evening ahead.
Take care. Bye.